Hi, my name is Kristen Bowers. I'm the Associate Director of Transfer Admission at Cazenovia College. Welcome to Cazenovia College's very first Google Hangout on air. We wanted to provide a new resource for students who are exploring college to learn more about what they should be doing. Specifically, I work with transfer students. So the first Google Hangout on air is geared specifically towards what you should be doing as you're exploring colleges to transfer to. Just to give you a quick overview of what to expect as we're moving through the Google Hangout, if you see my eyes kind of moving over here, we have a box over here where you can ask any questions or make any comments that you have. As we're working through the video chat, I will be answering your questions and they will be saved and posted. If at any point I do respond to a question and you still have or need additional information, I encourage you to ask more and ask that question again, or to ask me to be more specific. As I mentioned, the purpose of the chat is to get the students comfortable with starting their college search and starting to navigate where they are going to look at colleges, what they're looking for in a college, where they would like to attend college, and finding the best fit. Now, as a transfer student, you have a very different set of needs. You've already been to college, so you have a familiarity with the college campuses, the offices, the policies and procedures, and the routines. But at the same time, you do need to take a good amount of time to explore that next step and where you wish to continue your education. Whether you have completed one semester at your current college or you've completed 2 years or more, you're considered a transfer student, and you do need to take the time to look at the school that is going to best fit your academic and social needs, as well as keep you on a path to graduation. One of the questions that I do get from students is it important to visit the campus? Absolutely. You really need to get yourself to the campus, preferably when college is in session. You can certainly visit during the summertime, but to see the students attending classes, to see the activity around the campus, is what's going to give you the best sense of the life on campus and how vibrant their culture is. The more people on campus, whether it's students, professors, staff, the better sense you're going to get of what life every day on our campus is like. Cazenovia College was founded in 1824, so we are coming upon almost our 190th anniversary. And we are a very small campus. If you have never visited Cazenovia College before, Cazenovia is approximately 1,000 students, and it's situated in Cazenovia, New York, which is a small village just south of Syracuse. We have, I guess the term that I hear most often to describe Cazenovia, the village, is quaint, safe, quiet, friendly, and I do also feel that Cazenovia College has those same qualities. It's the type of atmosphere where you get to know people very quickly, your fellow students, your professors, your advisors, the staff that are here to help you every day. When you're walking down a hall or you're walking into an office, somebody says hello. They know your name. So the smallness of the college is something that appeals to many students. You get more individual attention in a small college like Cazenovia. We offer a very wide variety of academic programs for such a small college. We are very strong in the art and design. We have studio art, photography, interior design, fashion design, visual communications, which includes subject areas such as graphic design and advertising and web and interactive design. And we also have very strong business management programs, humanities and social science, criminal justice, biology. We have inclusive early childhood education programming at the early childhood, elementary, and adolescence education level. And we have criminal justice, we have psychology, English, liberal studies. We have so much to offer. It's really a tremendous opportunity for students to come and have the opportunity to study in such a diverse in such diverse areas at such a small school. One of the questions that I do get from all students is, well, if it's such a small campus, there must not be a lot to do. That couldn't be further from the truth. We are a Division III school, and athletics is a very important part of Cazenovia College. Our students are very active. A high percentage of students take part in a varsity sport. We offer sports such as lacrosse, basketball, swimming, soccer, softball, baseball, basketball. There's a wide variety. We also have an internationally known and very well respected equestrian program. And we do have an equine education center that is located about 5 miles or so from our main campus. And that is a facility that serves the equestrian program, but also another very popular program at our school, the equine business management program. We have a wide variety of clubs and organizations. It's not just athletics at Cazenovia College, even though that is a very active part of our culture. We have student government association, we have volunteer organizations, we have special interest groups, we have groups that are specifically designed to tie into certain majors so students can meet other people who are interested in going in that field or that career. As I mentioned to start out, this first Google Hangout is designed for transfer students, and I started earlier by saying that transfer students have a very different set of needs. I cannot emphasize more to visit our campus. Every single college has at least one person who is dedicated to working with incoming transfer students. They are there to work with you. They are there to get you from point A to point B, and they are very, very knowledgeable. Like I said, every college has one. So when you do call and say, I'm a transfer student, I'm interested in coming to learn more about Cazenovia College, at Cazenovia you would meet me, but at the same time, be sure to look into that at anywhere you're looking. That's just a tip, as you explore your options. One of the first places that students learn about Cazenovia College is on our website or social media accounts. Cazenovia College has a very informative website, contact information, specific information about academics, and there's also some very active social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Google Hangouts, Pinterest. Get a sense, look at those social media sites. See the photos that students are sharing. See the photos that people who have visited have shared. It's becoming very common that when prospective students visit a campus, they're walking around with their phones taking pictures, and they're posting it on social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter, things that they find interesting, things that appeal to them. And by sharing that, they're also getting that information out to other students who may be interested. So look at those websites, look at those social media sites. They can be an incredibly helpful resource as you move forward with exploring your college option. As I mentioned, visiting campus is the most critical aspect of choosing where to attend. When you drive up to campus and you get out of your car, you need to, even at that as early as that point, do I feel like this is the place for me? Am I getting a good feel? There's such a thing as a gut feeling, and you need to go with that. When you're going on the campus tour, we offer campus tours year-round. We have a gorgeous campus. We include parts of the village on our campus tour. And when we go through the campus tour, ask questions. Most of the time your campus tour will be quite small. It may be just you. Unless we have a lot of visitors that day, you might be on a tour with more than one family or more than one prospective student. Ask a question. If you want to wait until after the tour, maybe write your questions down, and when you meet with me later on, you can get those questions answered pretty thoroughly. And look at things. Really, don't just look on the surface. If you see something, you say, oh, that's pretty neat. You might want to go, but I wonder this. Really think outside the box. Make a list as you're going. What did I like? What didn't I like? What really appealed to me? What did I kind of look at and say, geez, I'm not really sure that I want, to do that, or I'm not really sure that residential living is for me, or I went to the dining hall and I didn't see any, gluten-free or vegan options. These are questions that should be asked because you are intending to make Cazenovia College your home for the next, could be 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. It's okay. It's okay to ask those questions. A lot of students are very shy. They don't feel comfortable. I'm here to tell you that admissions has heard every single question. There is no question that is ridiculous. Every question is valid, and we would much rather have you ask that instead of walk away wondering or walk away not having an accurate reflection of our campus. One of the great things about being a transfer counselor, advisor, is that I get to spend a lot of time at the community colleges in New York State, as well as in Massachusetts and Connecticut. CAS will be at your campus, most likely. If you are tuning in and you are from New York State, or if you are from Eastern Massachusetts or Eastern Connecticut, during the fall or the spring of each semester, I will have at least one day where I am on your campus and ready to meet with you and meet one-on-one. We can talk about anything and everything you want to know to get some preliminary information out there for you, right down through I can do a preliminary evaluation of your credits. If you are currently at a community college, anywhere in the United States, most likely your community college will host at least one transfer fair per year. The fall tends to be the more common time that it's offered, but many of them offer them in the spring as well. You will see these posted, notifications of these events posted. This is a wonderful opportunity for you when you're still looking at where do I want to transfer, where do I want to take that next step. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to explore a lot of different colleges at once. Some of you may have heard of these large-scale college fairs that your city or county may offer. A lot of times there's a misconception that those are driven to students who are going to be freshmen, and that is certainly not the case. You should look into regional fairs. A lot of times they're held on a college campus, sometimes they're held in a larger venue or a high school. Just because you've already graduated high school does not mean that you are not welcome to go there and explore. And certainly when there is a larger program available, that's a prime opportunity for you to go and explore a lot of different colleges at once. Cazenovia College attends pretty much every single college fair in the New York State and the surrounding states. We have a schedule up every single year so you'll know where we are. You can click a map and see when we're in your area. I mentioned when I talked about CAS at your campus, I mentioned getting a preliminary credit evaluation. One of the biggest questions that students will ask very early in the stages of exploring whether or not to transfer is whether or not all of their credits that they have completed will transfer to Cazenovia College. Our general rule is that credits with a grade of C or higher that are credit bearing will transfer to Cazenovia. But more importantly is how they transfer to Cazenovia College. If you were to visit campus, or if I were to come to your campus for a day visit or even a college fair, you are more than welcome and you are strongly encouraged to print out a copy of your transcript. Most schools have an online portal where you can print that right off. It's a very quick process. Sometimes I can do it while I'm still there. Sometimes I might have to come back to the office and speak with one of our program directors to determine how certain credits should transfer. But 9 times out of 10, I can do it very quickly, within a couple of hours or within a day or so, have a credit evaluation for you, as well as a degree audit. The credit evaluation will show you how many credits will transfer and how they transfer. The degree audit, however, is more in-depth, and it will demonstrate exactly what you have remaining to complete the program at Cazenovia that you've chosen. So let's say you are at Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York, and you're graduating from their Business Administration Associate's degree program, and you're looking for a business management program, and you notice that Caz has that. You can print off your copy of your transcript from Monroe Community College, send it to me. You can scan it and email it to me. You can bring it in when you visit. You can drop it off. You can mail it, fax it, any way it can get to me. Within a day or so, I'll be able to do the credit evaluation, but also provide the degree audit. That can be a very motivating factor for you. You can look and say, oh, I'm bringing over 65 credits and I have this many credits to complete, and this is a wonderful tool that you should have when you're looking to compare your college options. Some students, on average, I would say transfer students have about 3 colleges that they're looking to transfer to. The more information that we can provide you to make the best and most informed decision, the better we feel about where you're going to be, you know, when you make that ultimate decision. Whether it's financial aid, which we'll talk about at a later Google Hangout, whether it's how many credits will transfer, how they transfer, the campus life. These are all pieces of information. These are all very critical pieces of the puzzle that you need to make the ultimate decision of where to transfer. One of the things we can also discuss very early on, even before you choose to apply, would be scholarships. Our academic scholarships are based entirely on your academic record. So most of the time, if we have a transcript, we can unofficially say, with your GPA, with your academic standing, you may qualify for this scholarship. And we can discuss the parameters and so forth at that get-go. So that's sometimes also very motivating. It gives you a stronger sense of where you would be and what you would start out with in terms of financial aid and scholarships. I wanted to open it up to our questions, and as I mentioned earlier, if you see me moving and looking that way, it is because I am reading your questions. So if you have any questions, please by all means submit them, and I will do my best to answer them. I have one question. I have a student who is asking, during a campus visit, are transfer students allowed to sit in on a class to get a sense of how the classes are conducted? Absolutely. That's a really terrific way to get a sense of the professor and student interaction and how students, how the format of the classes. And sometimes students attend more than one class during their visit, and they can see the differences in how each professor conducts their class. If you do want to come in and sit on a class, we ask that you give us a call. We will look at when you are considering visiting. We will check the class schedule and talk to the professor to determine if that is a good day to sit in on a class. Most of the time, there is not a problem. The only time we run into an issue is if the professor is giving an exam. So we do need to be sensitive to that. But if you do want to ever sit in a class, try to give us about a week's notice so we can make those arrangements for you. I have another question here. How many transfer students apply to Cazenovia, and how many transfer students attend each semester? Cazenovia College will accept transfer students for both the spring, the January term, as well as the fall term. The fall term starts at the end of August. The fall term has a larger number of applicants as well as a larger number of students who choose to attend or commit to Cazenovia. For the fall, we see approximately anywhere between 250 to 300 applications. to Cazenovia College from transfer students, and we have anywhere between 55 and 70 that will start college in the fall. The spring is a little bit smaller. The spring is more along the lines of 25 or so new transfers starting. At the same time, just because spring is smaller, those transfer students still get a lot of attention. They still go through all the same process. They still get all of the same guidance and interaction that they need to move through the process. I do have a question, another question. Is there any transportation for students to go off campus if they would like to? Yes. Now, as a transfer student, you are allowed a car. To just be on campus, a car is not necessarily needed. But if you were, to maybe work off campus or have another off-campus commitment, you may want to consider bringing your car. However, we do offer transportation to local stores such as grocery stores, malls for shopping, any kind of special events where we may have a lot of students who are going to be attending. A shuttle can be arranged for. And it's the same thing for athletics. Athletics does provide athletes transportation to and from games and other competitions that are off campus. During school breaks, when we have students that may be traveling home, such as Thanksgiving or the autumn break, we do offer a shuttle to and from the bus stations and the airports to make sure that students are able to get there safely, and we do shuttle them back. Those are typically scheduled closer to the time that students will be departing and then arriving back on campus. I have another question from a student who is saying, when is the best time to visit? As I mentioned, the best time to visit, in my opinion, and I'm sure there's others who would agree, is during school semesters, when school is in session and in full swing. It's important to see the activity on the campus. It's important to take a walk through the residence halls and see what a real room looks like. A lot of our students will have their room open, and they say, "Oh, come on in, I'll show you around, and this is how I decorated." We want you to get the best and most accurate picture of Cazenovia, its people, the village, the area, and that is my opinion on when you can visit. However, we are open year-round, so anytime you want to visit, you can call our office, you can email me or another advisor or admissions counselor, and we will be more than happy to welcome you to campus. I have a question from a student who says, when do open houses take place? Is it better to attend campus for an individual visit or an event? That's a great question. A lot of students utilize the larger events, such as an open house, to get a lot of everything in one day. There's tours, there's presentations, meeting current students. There's a lot of things that an open house offers that it's kind of a one-shot deal. You come here and you learn everything in one day. You can still do that on an individual visit. The individual visits I encourage no matter what. If you have attended an open house or not, an individual visit is critical because you do need the opportunity to sit with your admissions counselor, look at everything, look at your academic record, go over your academic program, talk about financial aid. We can certainly help you do some of that during an open house, but due to the volume of people that we do have on campus during those times, it can be a challenge for us to get away. So if you sometimes a great thing to do is to attend an open house. Then if you like what you see, come back for another visit. That's a really great sequence of events. If we say if we can get you back here a second time, we think that means you like it here, and we're going to do our best to give you all the information and details you need to make a good decision. Well, it looks like we don't have too many more questions about visiting campus, and we're coming up on 3:30 or so. So what I'd like to do is I'd just like to take a quick opportunity to kind of circle back to the Google Hangouts, the purpose of the Google Hangouts, provide you with some contact information if you would like to make a visit. This Google Hangout is a first of a series, and this series, the ones that I will be having, will be specifically targeted to transfer students. So whether you are the transfer student yourself, you're a friend of a transfer student, or a parent of a transfer student, or a counselor, by all means, check back to the Google Plus page or Cazenovia College event page, Facebook social media page. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will have a second Google Hangout on air, and that Google Hangout will discuss the application process. So that'll be a little bit more in depth about what we need, what we're going to look at, some of the common questions, and some of the common challenges that students face when they embark on the admissions process. As I mentioned, that will probably be within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The other last bit of information which you will need, the whole topic of the event was visiting campus. If you would like to visit campus, you can call 1-800-654-3210. We are open 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. We encourage you to call us, tell us you're interested in visiting, have a couple of dates in mind. And we will get you scheduled. It'll include a campus tour. It'll include time to sit with me to go over all the transfer details. And if there's anything you want to see on campus or in the village, let us know. You can tell us when you're here too, and we'll be happy to accommodate you. But if you say, hey, I really want to check out the Equine Center, or I'd like to see the theater, or I'd like to check out a suite residence hall, as well as a traditional double residence hall. And we'd be more than happy to make that arrangement. When you do arrive to campus, one of the things that I encourage transfer students to bring with them is a list of questions, concerns. Like I said, we have heard every question. We do not think that any question is ridiculous. You need to know these things. You need to ask these things. As I said earlier, it's better to get the right information than to wonder and stress yourself out, or to get misinformation, which can be a lot worse. So bring a list of questions. We'll sit down and we'll talk. I do hope that you enjoyed our first Google Hangout. It is a learning experience for us, and I hope to see more of you back in a couple of weeks to talk about the transfer application process.